I got multiple topics that I am going to discuss here in this video. Um, and let's get into this. The first topic I'm going to talk about is William Thomas. Yes, I'm calling him William Thomas. I am not calling that fool Leah. But yeah, um, that guy apparently who literally called himself winning first place in some of these women's swimming competition, you know, pretending to be a woman and all that kind of stuff. Uh, he cannot participate in women's sports anymore. And what do I have to say about this? Holly fucking Luya. It is about time that we have gotten to the point where morals have been instilled in somebody's brain. Yes, this is all about morals. Because you know what? William Thomas was a known cheater anyway. Thing is that stuff like this should not even happen at the very beginning. And when you really think about it, it's cheating to begin with. When you have transgenders participating, literally transgenders participating in women's sports. Let the trannies have their own league. And for those of you who think that trans women are women, you need help. And you know what kind of help you need? I ain't talking about going to the doctor and getting help. I'm talking about you need Jesus. For real. So yeah, finally, morals are starting to come back. Morality wins over wokeness. And speaking of wokeness, the new Disney movie Lightyear, which just came out in the movie theaters, it was a box office flop. And for good reason. I was saying to myself, I wanted to go see the new Lightyear movie, but something have told me that I to not see it. And I'm glad I did not waste my money on seeing it. I mean, jeez. It was literally and the real reason, and I think some of the, parts of that movie where you have a lesbian couple, the carpet munching lesbos, kissing in that film. I think that part of the film in particular, it got banned in various countries, and most of those countries happen to be Muslim or something like that. Which, to be honest, at least the Muslims, got some sense of morality. Unlike over here in modern America, where morality is dying all of a sudden. But and the truth of the matter is, stuff like that shouldn't even be in a kids movie or a family movie to begin with. But I'm gonna tell you this: Disney doesn't care. Disney doesn't really care. They're they're literally nothing more than just complete indoctrinating as clowns to begin with, and they want to push their indoctrinal agenda towards kids in this current generation. Now, there are those who are going to say that, you know, it's meant for the movie is meant for the new generation. Well, I don't think so. Uh, I would literally think it's common sense will tell us to vote with our dollars. You know, without respect, we reject. And you know what? Being I used to watch Toy Story a long time ago. I mean, when I was a kid growing up, you know, it was definitely one of my favorite movies. But now I'm disappointed in Disney as a conglomerate. You know, I stopped liking Disney for a while, to be honest. I mean, and let's not let's not even go to show. You know, I kind of found this out recently. Unfortunately, Walt Disney himself happened to be a 33rd degree Freemason. I mean, for those of you who would say that Walt Disney himself would be appalled at how Disney is running things, well, you may want to rethink. Um, you may want to rethink that. But yeah, Lightyear has flopped this past weekend in the box office, and for good reason. Now let's talk about the big story. You know, this past weekend there was a lot of Juneteenth celebrations going on in certain areas. Now, let me go on the record and say this. Yeah, me as a black person, I do not celebrate Juneteenth. You know, I really don't. I could particularly care less for it because and the real reason being is because when it was made into a federal holiday last year by Joe Biden, it was only he only did that for one thing, to virtue signal. He didn't do that to he only did that so he can appease the black vote. Just like what Democrats do as usual. They will do something to appease the black vote, and next thing you know, they're the one that screws them over. They would screw the black community over. But I digress. Now, thing is this, like in the case of what the holiday's supposed to symbolize, it's supposed to symbolize that on that day in 1865, you know, over in Galveston, Texas, it is talking about how the slaves over there got freed. Now, here's the killer. Now, I said this in a previous video when I was talking about Walmart uh, pulling Juneteenth themed ice cream. Um, I explained that not everybody who was a slave happened to be happened to be black, and not everybody who was a slave owner happened to be white. In fact, the first slave owner in America was Anthony Johnson. Who happened to be black, by the way. Don't believe me? Look it up. Google is your friend. I mean, the sad part is that none of that gets taught in our educational institutions. I mean, when in fact, they would alter or distort the facts in history anyway, or they just leave it out altogether. But that's not my point. My point is that I don't so I do feel that in the black community, you know, we are celebrating Juneteenth for the wrong reason. You know, in Washington, D.C., in New York, in Chicago, which all three of those cities are Democrat run. You know, there were Juneteenth celebrations going on, and people were getting shot and killed on that day. Is and it makes me want to ask the question: Black people, did we fight for our ways of for for freedom and justice just so we could go out and kill each other? Is that the plan? Is that what we would do? I'm sorry to say it, but Malcolm and Martin would be appalled at us, right, if they were living right now. Yes, Malcolm and Martin would be appalled big time. And I also think the problem with Juneteenth being made a federal holiday, is that, yeah, some people got off work, got the day off work, but, there are some, but for some people like me, with the line of work I do, you know, how come I don't get holiday pay for that? I'm for real. I mean, the job I work at, I don't get holiday pay for Juneteenth. Not gonna lie. So, and to be honest, even though the holiday has been made into a federal holiday, um, it, a, a lot of places in America still don't even recognize it. So, all in all, I don't see the point. You know, and to be honest, as a black person, I didn't ask for this. I didn't ask for for Juneteenth as a holiday. I didn't ask for. Um, I didn't even ask for Black History Month or Kwanzaa. You know, not gonna lie. You know, but I'm just gonna set it out straight. Like I said, the problem with Juneteenth is that unfortunately we are celebrating it for the wrong reason. But I digress. I'm Chuck Johnson, a.k.a. Kid Thunder. You guys have a wonderful day.